Have you ever been in a conversation feeling pretty confident in your English skills, and then someone drops a phrase that just, well, it makes you pause?
Oh, definitely.
You know all the individual words, but put them together, and suddenly it's this linguistic puzzle. It's got a whole world of meaning you didn't quite grasp.
Yeah, that happens all the time.
Perhaps a colleague mentions someone's gone for the day, or maybe a friend excitedly exclaims, "That's it," and you're left wondering, are they happy, frustrated, or did they just finish a sandwich?
Exactly. It's all about that hidden context.
It happens more often than we think, doesn't it?
It really does.
Okay, let's unpack this then. Today, we're diving deep into the wonderfully intricate world of common English phrases.
Sounds good.
We've been given this stack of intriguing sources, really insightful excerpts from something called Mastering Everyday English Phrases, and it seems designed specifically to help learners master these often tricky, yet, well, ubiquitous expressions. So our mission today is to extract the most important nuggets of knowledge, the key insights from this material, making sure you walk away feeling truly well-informed, ready to navigate these verbal shortcuts with some newfound confidence.
And it's truly fascinating, isn't it, how seemingly straightforward phrases can hold so much nuanced meaning. It shifts subtly depending on the context, the tone of voice, the specific situation.
Right.
It's not simply about understanding the dictionary definition of each word in isolation.
No.
It's about grasping the collective weight, the implication of the phrase as a whole unit. We're going to explore these linguistic shortcuts, not just defining them, but showing you why they matter in real-life communication and how they're actually used in the everyday world.
Yeah.
It really makes you think, doesn't it? How much hidden depth, how many layers of human experience and communication lie in the words we use every single day, often without a second thought.
Absolutely. And this deep dive is crafted specifically for you, the listener. Whether you're prepping for, say, a crucial meeting and want to sound more natural, or maybe you're trying to catch up on the unwritten rules of social interaction in English, or perhaps you're simply endlessly curious about the intricacies of language itself.
Which is a great reason.
Exactly. We're going to give you those aha moments, hopefully without any information overload. We'll show you how truly mastering these seemingly small phrases can unlock a whole new level of understanding and communication.
Yeah, it lets you connect more deeply.
Right. Express yourself more precisely and ultimately avoid those little conversational stumbles that can sometimes hold us back. It's about building fluency that extends far beyond just grammar rules.
It's about that cultural nuance.
Okay, let's jump right in then. First phrase, one that appears incredibly simple on the surface, something you hear constantly. Gone for the day.
A classic.
You might initially think it just means someone is physically left, like they're not here right now.
That's the basic idea, yeah.
But there's a subtle layer to that phrase, isn't there? Something beyond just someone's physical absence. It carries a distinct finality, an implicit expectation that sets it apart from simply saying they left or they're not here.
You're absolutely right. It signals a very specific conclusion. It's more than just a literal statement of departure. When someone is gone for the day, it signifies a definitive, absolute end to their availability or presence for that specific day.
Definitive, that's the key word.
Exactly. It's crucial to understand this because it's not just they stepped out for a moment or they might return later this afternoon.
Right, not just popping out for coffee.
No, it means unequivocally they won't be back today. The implication is that their duties or their scheduled presence for the entire working period or perhaps the daylight hours are concluded.
Ah, okay.
It's a statement of permanent departure until their next scheduled availability, effectively closing the door on any further interaction for that day.
Okay, give us an example. How does this play out?
All right, think about it in a typical office environment. Let's say you're rushing to finish a report and you ask a colleague, "Could you please tell Sarah I absolutely need her signature on this before 5 o'clock?
Classic deadline panic.
Exactly. And the reply comes back, "Oh, Sarah's gone for the day. You can catch her first thing tomorrow morning."
Right, okay.
What this tells you immediately is that Sarah has completed her work responsibilities, or at least her scheduled time, and has departed for good until the next working period, likely the next business day.
So no point chasing her down.
Precisely. The real insight here is how this phrase acts as a linguistic door-closed sign. It instantly manages your expectations, preventing you from waiting around, sending urgent emails you know won't be seen, or expecting her to pop back into the office. It's a formal closing of her presence, communicating complete unavailability until tomorrow.
That makes perfect sense. It's a clear boundary, isn't it? You wouldn't then expect an email from her an hour later or for her to somehow reappear.
Exactly. It defines the end point of her workday very clearly.
Okay. What about other contexts, like outside the office?
Well, consider the service industry or retail. You might walk into, say, a bespoke bakery, eager to discuss a custom cake for a special occasion next week.
Yeah.
You ask, "Is the head baker still here? I wanted to ask about a custom order." And the response could be, "Sorry, the baker's gone for the day. We only have pre-made items left." Or you can talk to someone about custom orders tomorrow.
Ah, right. So the specific skill is unavailable.
Precisely. Here, the phrase indicates that an employee's shift has explicitly ended, and crucially, their specific, specialized services are no longer accessible.
Got it.
This isn't just about the person's physical absence, it's about the cessation of their specialized role for that time. It instantly manages your expectations about what can be achieved right then and there. You wouldn't ask another staff member to magically whip up a custom cake.
That's a powerful distinction. It's not just they're gone, but the function they provide is gone for the day. That's really useful.
And this sense of finality extends even to less formal, more general departures. For instance, if you're collaborating on a casual project with a friend, maybe fixing a car in the garage,
Right.
and you ask, "Where's John? We were going to work on the engine together this afternoon." And someone replies, "Oh, he finished up early. He's gone for the day."
Okay. Even casually.
Yes. Even in this relaxed context, the phrase marks a definitive end to John's participation in that activity for the entire day. The insight here is that it carries the strong implication of finality.
Right.
Whatever they were doing, whether it was work or a casual task, they are done with it, completed their part, and will not be returning to it for this specific day.
So it stops you from expecting them to reappear.
Yeah.
Lets you adjust your own plans.
Exactly. It allows you to move forward.
Okay, so what does this all mean for you, the listener? Understanding this nuance is incredibly practical, isn't it? It can save you a lot of time and potential frustration.
Definitely.
You won't wait around for someone who definitively isn't coming back or expect a service that's no longer available. It's fundamentally about managing expectations, both your own and those of others you're communicating with.
Building clarity?
Yeah, building clarity and efficiency into your interactions is the difference between waiting endlessly and just, moving on to the next task.
It really highlights how English uses such succinct expressions to convey a significant sense of completeness and non-return for a defined period.
Yes, succinct is a good word for it.
It's far more than just simply stating someone is absent or not here. It's about communicating that they are done for the day, closing that chapter until the next one begins.
Right.
This linguistic precision ensures a clear understanding of availability, which is vital in both personal and professional settings.
Okay, we've just seen how gone for the day sets a clear boundary. Now let's shift gears a bit. Let's talk about how we use language to define our professional boundaries and identities, looking at phrases like in the lighting business.
Yes, another
Right.
common one.
At first glance, it seems incredibly self-explanatory, right? Someone who works with lights, maybe sells light bulbs or something.
Yeah, the surface level, sure.
But let's explore this a bit more because it's a fantastic example of how we efficiently define our professional worlds and the industries we operate within using these broad, categorical phrases. It's like a label.
Exactly. What's truly fascinating about in the lighting business, while specific to lighting, of course, is how it serves as a broader template for describing one's profession or the industry one works in.
A template. How so?
Well, it's a highly efficient way to quickly categorize oneself or a company within a particular economic sector. It provides immediate context without needing a lengthy explanation of a precise job title or some complex company structure.
Right, like a shortcut.
It's like a verbal shortcut to professional identity. Consider the most direct scenario, professional identification. Imagine you're at a large networking event trying to make connections. Someone asks you, "So what do you do for a living?"
The classic question.
Right. Responding, "Oh, I'm in the lighting business. I actually design custom stage lighting for major concerts and theatrical productions," instantly gives them a clear professional identity.
Okay.
You don't need to list your exact job title first or explain your daily tasks right away. This phrase immediately places you within a recognized industry.
Sets the scene.
Exactly. It allows for immediate, broader understanding of your general area of expertise. It's a very common and natural opening for professional conversation, letting the other person quickly place you in a professional landscape and decide if they want to, delve deeper.
That's so efficient. It's like saying, I'm in the tech business,
Yeah.
or I'm in the food business.
Yeah.
It sets the stage for a more detailed conversation if needed, but gives you a quick, digestible summary right away.
Precisely. That's the template aspect.
Okay, so it works for individuals. What about companies?
Absolutely. And it's not just for individuals. The phrase can describe entire companies or even subsectors. For example, you might hear a company representative say, "Our company, Lumina Innovations, has been in the lighting business for over 50 years, specializing in cutting-edge, energy-efficient LEDs for commercial buildings and smart city projects."
Right, establishes their field.
Here, the phrase describes the specific industry a business primarily operates within. It acts as a highly effective shorthand for a company's primary focus and market, immediately indicating their core competency and where their expertise lies.
Hmm.
It quickly communicates their identity within the broader economic landscape, often implying a legacy, like being in business for 50 years, or a particular specialization within that field, painting a picture of their market position.
So if someone tells you a company's in the automotive business, you instantly know they're not selling cupcakes.
Right.
And if they're in the pharmaceutical business, you're not expecting them to fix your plumbing. It's a remarkably efficient way to communicate a company's core mission.
Exactly. That immediate categorization is powerful.
Okay, individuals, companies, any other uses?
And finally, the phrase is often used in general industry discussions, allowing for broader economic commentary. You might hear an analyst on a business news channel ask something like, "How's the lighting business doing these days with all the new smart home technology, the push for sustainability and advancements in LED design?"
Talking about the sector as a whole.
Precisely. This illustrates how the phrase is used to discuss broader trends, challenges, or conditions within an entire industrial sector. It allows for wide-ranging conversations about market dynamics, technological shifts, economic health, or even regulatory changes impacting a particular industry.
Without getting bogged down in specifics.
Right, without having to constantly enumerate all the different facets within it. It acts as a cohesive umbrella term that frames the entire discussion.
Okay, so what does this all mean for you, the listener? This phrase teaches us a really common and useful pattern for describing any industry, doesn't it?
It really does.
You can swap out lighting for tech, food, real estate, healthcare, construction, media, finance, education, you name it, and instantly communicate your professional domain or the sector you're discussing. It's a flexible building block for professional small talk, networking, and quickly establishing context in almost any conversation about work or commerce.
Makes you sound fluent and natural.
Yeah, making you sound like a native speaker who understands the subtle cues of professional communication.
It truly makes you think about how we use these category phrases to simplify what can be incredibly complex professional landscapes.
Yeah, simplify is the right word.
It's about providing a quick, understandable context for what someone does or what a company focuses on, allowing for deeper dives into specific roles or business models later if needed.
Right.
It's a crucial linguistic tool for efficient information exchange, especially in fast-paced professional settings where clarity and brevity are highly valued.
All right, moving on. Everyone loves a good outcome.
We certainly hope for them.
And when it comes to positive results, few phrases are as universally welcomed and understood as a win-win situation.
Ah, yes. The ideal scenario.
At first glance, it's clear it's about winning, obviously. But there's a deeper layer here, isn't there? Because it implies much more than just a good result for one person.
Absolutely. It's about mutual shared success.
Mutual gain.
A win-win situation is fascinating precisely because it describes a scenario where all parties involved benefit. This makes it a powerful foundation for collaborative success and fostering long-term positive relationships.
That makes sense.
It fundamentally shifts the perspective from a competitive zero-sum game, where one person's game inherently means another's loss.
Right, I win, you lose.
Exactly. It shifts from that to one of mutual gain, where everyone walks away feeling satisfied and often better off than before. It builds trust and encourages future cooperation.
Okay, let's look at where this pops up. Business seems obvious.
Yes, take business negotiations or partnerships, for instance. A common scenario might be, by agreeing to a slightly longer contract at a marginally lower per unit cost, it truly became a win-win situation for both the supplier and our company.
Okay, how's that a win-win?
Well, we secured guaranteed supply at a better price point, and they gain long-term stability and assured volume for their production line. See, both benefit.
Okay, got it.
Here, the phrase highlights how a compromise or a specific arrangement leads to clear advantages for everyone at the table. The key insight is that it explicitly emphasizes shared success and the active avoidance of a competitive dynamic.
Right, moving beyond just haggling.
Exactly. This doesn't just result in a single deal. It fosters goodwill, builds enduring trust, and actively encourages future collaboration and continued positive engagement, which is vital for sustained, successful business relationships.
It's about finding that sweet spot where everyone's needs are met, even if it means a little give and take. That's a powerful concept, not just in business, but really in life. But what about when it feels impossible, like a really entrenched disagreement? Can win-win still apply there, or does it become more, aspirational?
That's a great question because it really challenges the ideal. While it can certainly be harder in entrenched disagreements, the win-win mindset is precisely what helps break through those stalemates.
The mindset.
It encourages creative problem solving and actually stepping into the other person's shoes to understand their core needs, not just their stated position. And yes, it applies just as much to everyday problem solving or even family life.
Like how?
Imagine a parent saying to a child, "Okay, if you help me with the dishes for 10 minutes, I'll read you an extra chapter of your favorite story tonight." See? It's a win-win situation.
Okay, I see that.
Here, the concept applies to personal interactions, where cooperation clearly yields benefits for all involved individuals. The real insight demonstrates how small concessions or acts of cooperation in daily life can lead to greater collective satisfaction and much smoother interactions.
Mm-hmm.
It's a fantastic way to teach children, and indeed adults, the principles of negotiation, compromise, and mutual benefit, showing them that working together can yield more rewarding outcomes for everyone.
Yeah.
It fosters a spirit of teamwork rather than conflict.
That's a brilliant way to phrase it. It teaches collaboration over conflict, even in the smallest instances, making daily life a bit more harmonious. Okay, so personal life, business, any other areas?
And finally, the concept extends to broader policy or strategic outcomes where decisions affect entire communities or even nations.
Oh, okay, bigger picture.
Exactly. You might hear a commentator say, investing heavily in renewable energy infrastructure is unequivocally a win-win situation for both the environment and the economy.
How so?
We dramatically reduce carbon emissions and concurrently create millions of new sustainable jobs across various sectors.
Right. Two major benefits from one action.
Precisely. Here, the phrase broadens the concept to societal or strategic levels, where actions have positive ripple effects across multiple domains or for different stakeholder groups.
Mm-hmm.
The critical insight connects individual or governmental actions to broader systemic benefits, encouraging decisions that consider and positively impact multiple stakeholders and objectives rather than focusing on a single narrow gain.
Right.
It highlights the interconnectedness of different spheres, illustrating how responsible policy can lead to widespread prosperity.
So what does this all mean for you? This isn't just about definitions, is it? Recognizing and actively seeking a win-win helps you identify and create opportunities for collaboration, not just competition, in pretty much every aspect of your life.
It's a proactive approach.
Exactly. It's more than just a phrase. It's a fundamental mindset shift towards mutual benefit. Whether you're negotiating a complex business deal, resolving a family disagreement, or even just deciding what to have for dinner with friends.
Yeah.
It promotes harmonious and productive interactions, building stronger relationships in the long run.
It really makes you think, doesn't it? In a world often framed by intense competition and, frankly, zero-sum thinking.
Yeah, seems like the default sometimes.
Right. How does the concept of a win-win encourage more sustainable, ethical, and equitable outcomes? It powerfully underscores the value of empathy, of understanding diverse needs, and using creative problem solving to achieve broader, more lasting success that benefits everyone involved.
Mm-hmm.
It's about building bridges and fostering cooperation rather than simply winning battles at someone else's expense.
Okay, now let's turn to a phrase that's deceptively simple, but wow, incredibly powerful.
Yeah.
That's it.
Oh yeah, so short, so much meaning.
It's just two words, often uttered quickly. But what's truly fascinating about this phrase is how its meaning can swing wildly, often by 180 degrees, based entirely on the context and, crucially, your tone of voice.
Absolutely. The tone is everything here.
It's a masterclass in how much nonverbal cues matter in language, proving that sometimes the how is just as important as the what.
It's absolutely remarkable how That's it exemplifies how a brief utterance, a mere 2 words, can convey such a diverse range of meanings. Completion, confirmation, sudden realization, or even profound exasperation.
A real chameleon.
It truly is a chameleon of a phrase, its interpretation entirely dependent on the surrounding circumstances, and as you said, the speaker's delivery. It's a micro lesson in linguistic elasticity.
Okay, break it down for us. Let's start with completion.
All right, let's start with indicating completion or finality. Imagine you've been meticulously packing for a long trip, trying to fit everything into one suitcase.
The struggle is real.
It is. And someone finally asks, "Are you finished packing? We need to leave in 5 minutes. The taxi's here." You might respond with a content-satisfied tone, perhaps even a sigh of relief.
Right.
Yes, that's it. Everything's in the suitcase, and I've even zipped it up somehow.
Okay, relief and completion.
The insight here is clear. It signifies the definitive end of a task or a process, marking its conclusive completion. It conveys a strong sense of accomplishment, relief, or definitive conclusion, often after a period of considerable effort or challenge. It signals that you've closed the chapter on that particular activity and there's nothing more to be done.
So it's not just, I'm done, but I'm done and there's nothing left to do. A feeling of completion, like tying a bow on something or crossing the finish line.
Exactly, that sense of finality again.
Okay, what about confirmation? How does that work?
Now consider seeking or giving confirmation. You're learning how to operate a new, slightly complex coffee machine, maybe.
Always tricky.
Right. And after following several steps, you ask the instructor, perhaps a little uncertainly, "So I just pressed this one red button and the espresso pours. Is that it? Is there anything else I need to remember?"
Okay, checking understanding.
And they, with a neutral, reassuring tone, reply, "Yes, that's it. You've got it perfectly."
Simple confirmation.
In this scenario, the phrase is used to confirm understanding or accuracy, or to indicate that no more information or action is required. The key insight is that it acts as a quick validation, a concise affirmation that you've grasped the correct procedure or information. And there are no hidden steps, tricky nuances, or further complexities. It's a verbal checkmark confirming you're on the right track.
That's a great example of its utility. It immediately confirms you've hit the nail on the head, or that you don't need to worry about anything else. Very efficient.
Then there's the scenario of expressing frustration or resignation, where the tone completely flips the meaning, conveying a starkly different motion.
Ah, the other end of the spectrum.
Totally. Imagine you've been repeatedly trying to fix a stubborn home printer, wrestling with paper jams and error messages for what feels like hours.
Yeah, I know this feeling well.
We all do. After yet another failed attempt, it jams again. You might exclaim with an exasperated, fed-up tone, maybe throwing your hands up.
Yeah.
"This printer's jammed again, and I simply cannot fix it. That's it. I'm calling a technician. I'm done with this machine for good."
Right. End of the line for the printer.
Here, the phrase conveys a breaking point, a decisive decision reached due to utter impatience, repeated failure, or sheer exasperation. The crucial insight is that this is an emotional outburst, signifying the absolute end of patience, the cessation of effort, or a final, irreversible decision to stop trying and pursue an alternative solution. It carries significant emotional weight and signals a decisive shift in strategy.
That's the real beauty of it, isn't it? Same words, completely different emotion. You immediately know the speaker is at their limit, utterly fed up. It's powerful in its sheer conciseness.
Absolutely. It packs a punch.
Okay, so completion, confirmation, frustration, any others?
And finally, there's the eureka moment, that sudden realization or revelation.
Out of a light bulb moment.
Exactly. After pondering a complex problem for a long time, perhaps a tricky crossword puzzle or a coding bug, suddenly the solution hits you like a flash of lightning.
Yes.
You might snap your fingers and exclaim with an excited, triumphant tone, maybe a wide smile spreading across your face. Wait, I know. We need to reverse the order of the steps to make this whole system work. That's it. That's the answer we've been looking for all this time.
Fantastic feeling.
Here, the phrase signals a sudden understanding, a breakthrough, or a solution being found. The key insight is that it captures that precise moment of insight or revelation, often accompanied by a palpable sense of clarity, excitement, and resolution. It's the verbal equivalent of a light bulb suddenly going on above your head, bringing immediate relief and triumph.
Okay, so what does this all mean for you, the listener? That's it. Is a masterclass in how much profound meaning can be packed into such brevity.
It really is.
It teaches us to listen not just to the individual words themselves, but to how they're said, The tone, the inflection, the context, and the underlying emotion.
You have to tune in.
You really do. It forces you to become a more attuned and nuanced listener, picking up on the subtle cues that transform a simple two-word phrase into a statement of completion, frustration, or revelation. It's about decoding the unspoken language beneath the words.
It truly makes you think about how such a short phrase manages to carry so many distinct and often opposing meanings. It powerfully highlights the critical, often understated role of what linguists call paralinguistic features.
Right, the how we say things.
Exactly. Things like intonation, pitch, volume, and rhythm in English communication. A phrase can be completely recontextualized and its entire meaning transformed by how it's delivered.
Yeah.
Demonstrating that language is far more than just the sum of its definitions. It's a dynamic interplay of words and delivery.
Right, our final phrase for today's deep dive is, it's about time.
Another one packed with feeling. This one always makes me smile. Or sometimes nod knowingly with a sigh of relief. It's a phrase that truly captures a universal human feeling about waiting, doesn't it? About things being overdue and the emotional release when they finally happen.
Definitely. It's tied to our deeply ingrained sense of timing and expectation.
Exactly.
You're right. It's incredibly resonant. When we connect this to the broader human experience, it's about time. Expresses that something should have happened earlier, often carrying a strong sense of impatience, palpable relief, or long-awaited satisfaction. It reflects a prior expectation that has finally, and perhaps belatedly, been met. It's the linguistic expression of our complex relationship with timing, anticipation, and the feeling of things being right or wrong based on when they occur.
Okay, let's get into scenarios. Relief after a delay seems like a big one.
Oh, absolutely. Consider expressing relief after a delay. You're trying to get an important, large program to load on an old, slow computer.
We've all been there.
Right. And after what feels like an eternity of staring at a loading bar, it finally sputters to life and opens. You might groan, maybe slump back in your chair.
Yep.
It's about time this program started. I thought it would never load. I was ready to give up.
Yes.
The phrase here clearly conveys the feeling that something has been significantly overdue, and its long-awaited arrival is a welcome, almost exasperated relief. The key insight is that it implies a previously experienced frustration or impatience due to a prolonged delay, which is now, thankfully, resolved. It's the release of built-up tension, a collective sigh made verbal.
We've all been there with slow tech, haven't we? That sigh of finally is exactly what this phrase captures. It's such a relatable feeling.
Precisely, and it can also imply a long overdue action or change, often with a more critical undertone, perhaps reflecting on societal progress or, well, lack thereof.
What do you mean?
For example, they finally decided to upgrade the city's crumbling public transportation system after years of neglect and countless commuter complaints. It's about time they invested properly in infrastructure.
Okay, so there's a judgment there.
Yes. The phrase here suggests that a necessary, expected, or highly anticipated action has been delayed for far too long. The crucial insight is that it often carries a critical undertone, implying that those responsible should have acted sooner, that the delay was unacceptable, perhaps even negligent.
Right.
But it also expresses a sense of relief and vindication that the action is finally happening, a feeling of justice being served or a wrong being righted, even if belatedly.
So it's not just a complaint, but also an acknowledgement that the right thing is now happening, even if it took far too long. There's a kind of bittersweet relief in that, isn't there?
There absolutely is. That mix of criticism and relief is quite common with this phrase.
Okay, what about more positive uses?
The phrase can also be used with positive anticipation, either playfully or earnestly, often in personal relationships.
Right.
Imagine a dear friend who lives far away finally manages to come visit after a long absence. You might greet them warmly, perhaps with a slight chuckle and a hug. Look who it is. It's about time you came to see us. We've genuinely missed you around here.
Nice. Warmer.
This illustrates that it can be used warmly or jokingly, expressing that someone's arrival or an event was highly anticipated and very welcome. The key insight here is less about frustration,
Right.
and more about the joy or satisfaction of something finally occurring after a period of waiting, hoping, or lighthearted expectation. It's a very human, relational use of the phrase that communicates both eagerness and affectionate chiding.
That's a beautiful way to express both eagerness and a touch of playful chiding. It's saying, I'm so glad you're here and I've been truly looking forward to it.
And finally, there's a strong sense of justice or fairness tied to this phrase, often when someone finally receives what they deserve.
Okay. like earned recognition.
Exactly. You might say, after years of dedication, tireless effort, and consistently exceeding expectations, she finally got the promotion she so richly deserved. It's about time.
Yes, that feels good to say.
Right. Here, the phrase connects to a powerful sense of deservedness, where a positive outcome was expected and its delay was seen as unfair or unjust.
Mhm.
The crucial insight highlights a deep-seated belief in deserved recognition, rectification, or the proper unfolding of events, making the phrase a powerful statement of overdue fairness and moral satisfaction.
Yeah.
It celebrates a just outcome, often after a period of waiting for something that felt inevitable or right.
So what does this all mean for you? This phrase is incredibly versatile. It helps you express a very human reaction to timing, whether it's impatience about a delay, a sigh of relief at its resolution, or that sense of things finally being as they should be.
Covers a lot of ground.
It really does. It's a dynamic and emotionally resonant way to comment on the rhythm of life, the pace of change, and the fulfillment of expectations. It truly allows you to articulate that universal feeling of, at last.
It really makes you reflect, doesn't it, on how it's about time reflects our societal and personal expectations about how events should unfold and the emotional weight we attach to those timelines.
Yeah, our internal clocks.
Exactly. It underscores how our understanding of time, of what's normal or due, and when things should happen, fundamentally shapes our language and our emotional responses to the world around us. It's a linguistic mirror reflecting our human impatience and our desire for order and fairness in the flow of life.
Wow, what a deep dive into the everyday. We've unpacked some seemingly simple phrases today, but we've seen how each one carries layers of meaning far beyond their literal words.
So much nuance.
Right. From the definitive finality of gone for the day that manages expectations and avoids wasted time, to the broad professional categorization of in the lighting business that streamlines communication. We explored how a win-win situation paves the way for mutual success and harmony in all sorts of interactions, and dove into the incredibly versatile power of that's it, where tone is truly king, completely transforming its meaning.
That was a fun one.
Yeah. And finally, we just explored the satisfying anticipation and relief packed into "it's about time," a phrase that captures our universal relationship with timing.
Indeed. When we connect all of this to the bigger picture, what's truly fascinating is how these small combinations of words are far more than just simple definitions. They are cultural touchstones.
Cultural touchstones, I like that.
Yeah, encapsulating common human experiences, emotions, and nuanced ways of understanding and interacting with the world. They teach us that true language mastery, particularly in a language like English with its rich idiomatic expressions and reliance on context, lies not just in grasping the literal words, but in comprehending the unspoken context, the subtle implications, and the underlying emotional landscape they inhabit. It's about getting inside the head of a native speaker, really.
So a challenge for you, the listener. Next time you hear a common phrase, any common phrase at all, not just the ones we covered today, I challenge you to pause for just a moment.
Take a beat.
Yeah. Consider not just what the individual words mean, but why those specific words are used in that particular combination. Think about how they're delivered, that tone, and what hidden layer of human experience, emotion, or cultural understanding they might be capturing.
What's going on underneath?
Exactly. What other seemingly simple phrases uttered countless times every day hold a universe of meaning just waiting for you to discover and unlock? The deeper you look, the more language reveals itself to be, well, a map of the human condition.